Krishna, everyone.
Hare Krishna.
We've been joined by two very, very special guests. I don't know if you see them.
Oh, you can see them.
It's not a figment of your imagination. It's the ecstatic dancing Gaur Nitai. Haribol! Shishi Gaur Nitai ki jai. And of course, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is here with us.
Nishingadev. You can't see him because he's hiding.
Yeah, so you can't really see
He
him.
looks like Nichinenda's tickling my chin.
Okay. So we're here to read from the Srimad Bhagavatam. And we're going to do a short and sweet reading again today. So just to keep in the mood, better to read as much as you can when you can, whether it's small. Doesn't have to. Don't be put off by forcing it to be like a long time. At least pick up the book and read. Okay, so where are we?
Canto 3, chapter 31. I'll do it again. Canto 3, chapter 31, text 1. Lord Kapila's instructions on the movements of the living entities. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Text 1. The personality of Godhead said, under the supervision of the Supreme Lord, and according to the result of his work, the living entity, the soul, is made to enter into the womb of a woman through the particle of male semen to assume a particular type of body. Purport. As stated in the last chapter, after suffering different kinds of hellish conditions, a man comes again to the human form of body. The same topic is continued in this chapter. In order to give a particular type of human form to a person who has already suffered hellish life, the soul is transferred to the semen of a man who is just suitable to become his father. During sexual intercourse, the soul is transferred through the semen of the father into the mother's womb in order to produce a particular type of body. This process is applicable to all embodied living entities, but is especially mentioned for the man who was transferred to the Under-Tamishra hell. After suffering there, when he who has had many types of hellish bodies, like those of dogs and hogs, is to come again to human form, he is given the chance to take his birth in the same type of body from which he degraded himself to hell. Interesting. I was just reading in this Prabhupada book, Dharma. And it's a really interesting point Prabhupada makes, that we are creating the next life. I like the point he made that the body's already there. You know, the outfit or the overcoat. Yeah, this book. It's already there. But so it's not a matter of they get created or everything. It's just we enter those different bodies in each life according to what bless you, according to what we've created in this life, according to the credits we've accrued. I just thought it was interesting. It's like if you enter a shop like Primark or something, and it's like all the outfits are there, and I just need to go and according to my qualifications, which means how much money I got basically, and secondly what my size is, let's be honest, and if it looks good on me or not, but according to that I will be leaving with a particular type of outfit. So in the same way, according to the qualifications that I am accruing in this lifetime, karma, the good deeds, spiritual acts, whatever it is, I will in the next life enter that particular outfit, the material body, that's already waiting for me. The point Prabhupada was making, it's not spontaneous, or everything's ordained, everything's created, there's intelligence behind this design, everything's there. It's just people coming in and out, going this one and that one, this one, that one. So it's interesting. This is what we just read reminded me of. And a living entity gets put into one. This is how basically this glorious living entity is entering the bodies.
Okay. Yeah, it's an interesting point that all the different species are there. The different species are a manifestation of the varieties of the combinations of the modes of material nature and action, which creates different species of life. So even within the species of fish, there are there's like 2 million or 4 million varieties of fish. Insects, so many varieties of insects amongst the specific species. Of course, when we look at insects and fish, and we see that, like, if you look at goldfish, usually they pretty much look the same. Well, of course, some of you may say there's clear variety, but if you look at a pill bug, there's variety. It seems like a uniformity. But once you get into things like little more developed animal species, then you get more variety even amongst the specific species. Like if you say calico cat, you may say they all look the same, but when you look closer you can see they have different unique markings. So you might have 6 calico cats, but they look unique, or specific dog, there still be some uniqueness. And so when you get into humans, different species of human, there are 400,000 species of human being, according to the Padma Purana. And Prabhupada quotes repeatedly. So even amongst the different species of human, we're kind of, you could say, 2 different species, or even more different unique species, because I'm a white or Caucasian male, you're a Asian female. These are 2 unique.
Asian, yeah.
Well, yeah. However it would be described, So, so there's different species, and amongst those, there's such a uniqueness in feature. So so of course the Primarch analogy is really good, according to your qualification of size, your qualification of money, your qualification of appearance, and how something suits you. Then we get the body. So these things are already there and present. We just take them on. But still, I find it very intriguing that there's still a uniqueness even within that species. It's not that you get the species, you're an elephant and every elephant looks identical. Every elephant is still also unique, even though it's, according to that jiva that's inside of it, there's certain aspects of that jiva's personality that kind of declare its uniqueness. So that's just, I don't know if that made any sense at all, but for me it definitely did. But did it make any sense?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll read on. Everything is done by the supervision of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Material nature supplies the body, but it does so under the direction of the Supersoul. So we see that the Supersoul, the Paramatma, is actually the ultimate permitter. It is said in Bhagavad Gita that a living entity is wandering in this material world on a chariot made of the material nature. The Supreme Lord, as Supersoul, is always present with the individual soul. He directs material nature to supply a particular type of body to the individual soul according to the result of his work, and the material nature supplies it. Here, one word, reta kanashraya, is very significant because it indicates that it is not the semen of the man that creates life within the womb of a woman. Rather, the living entity, the soul, takes shelter in a particle of semen and is then pushed into the womb of a woman. So it's a very subtle distinction, but it's not that the man is creating life. Life is already there. The man is just an instrument for passing it on, or as Prabhupada uses the term, injecting, like that. Then the body develops. There is no possibility of creating a living entity without the presence of the soul, simply by sexual intercourse. The materialistic theory that there is no soul and that a child is born simply by material combination of sperm and ovum is not very feasible. It is unacceptable. Okay, so back to Prabhupada's famous quote and statement, life comes from life. So two jivas come together, and souls are present within the semen of the man. The potency of the ovum is there in the woman. The combination means that there's a transference. Life comes from life. To create life in a test tube, you can't just put the chemicals in there. You also have to take the semen from the man, which contains the soul, and put it into the chemicals, like that. So life comes from life. As we were reading, I think in the Dharma book, Prabhupada also says, they have not created life just by the combination of chemicals. There always has to be life taken from something already living, and then they're able to generate and recreate it. So, like that.
Text 2. On the first night, the sperm and ovum mix, and on the 5th night, the mixture ferments into a bubble. On the 10th night, it develops into a form like a plum. Then after that, it gradually turns into a lump of flesh or an egg, as the case may be. Purport. The body of the soul develops in 4 different ways according to its different sources. One kind of body, that of the trees and plants, sprouts from the earth. The second kind of body grows from perspiration, as with flies, germs and bugs. The third kind of body develops from eggs, and the fourth develops from an embryo. This verse indicates that after emulsification of the ovum and sperm, the body gradually develops into a lump of flesh or into an egg, as the case may be. In the case of birds, it develops into an egg, and in the case of animals and human beings, it develops into a lump of flesh. Very unglamorous if you think about it.
That it?
Yeah.
Okay. I made some notes from my previous reading of the Bhagavatam here, and I put that it's a question mark here. It says that an egg develops, but an egg is not caused by semen and ovum for a chicken or for a bird. Means that the egg is already there, as far as I understood. A chicken lays eggs whether it's with a rooster or not, if that makes sense. So I think then, as I was just reading it again and looking at it and hearing my wonderful wife speak, then I was thinking, okay, so the egg and because the egg is already present, right? Even in a woman, the egg is already there, right? The seed is there. That's what causes the cycle, because the egg manifests and then is destroyed without, like that. So, not to get into biology class,
right.
But my understanding is that maybe
so
just hearing it say it again.
So what exalted guests make of this?
They're just dancing in ecstasy, thinking, anyway, let's just get out of the material world and don't worry about any more births. But then what I was thinking is, okay, so if the semen enters into the ovum somehow of the egg, so I guess there's a different type of seed. Maybe that's the thing. Anyway, maybe I need to investigate more exactly how an egg manifests within a chicken. Because it's not like there are hundreds of eggs inside of a chicken. There is obviously the potency for eggs inside of the chicken. But I didn't think that the semen created the egg. The egg must already be there, and the combination maybe creates a fertile egg. So is it that every egg that comes out of a chicken is a result of, you could say, copulation of the semen in the ovum? very detailed conversation. You can see the Bhagavatam is just full of so much deep, thoughtful contemplation. What to speak of if, we may be able to Google these things now or go to some scientists and they can tell us, but they were able to speak about this thousands and thousands of years ago because this knowledge is coming down and being given. It's not something that they had to go and, Lord Kapila Dev speaking about this, and I don't think he's referring to some scientist who cut open a chicken to find out what's happening inside. Does that make sense? She's a very tolerant lady.
Okay. Text 3.
Okay.
Did you have more to say about it?
No. That's.
I mean, it was an excellent example you gave.
Okay, let's rock and roll.
Is it you?
Yes. Yeah. In the course of a month, a head is formed, and at the end of 2 months, the hands, feet, and other limbs take shape. By the end of 3 months, the nails, fingers, toes, body, hair, bones, and skin appear, as do the organ of generation and the other apertures in the body, namely the eyes, nostrils, ears, mouth, and anus. Within 4 months, this is text 4, within 4 months from the date of conception, the 7 essential ingredients of the body, namely chile and chile. Interesting. What is that word? Let me just quickly try to see. Ooh, nasty. Chile is a milky bodily fluid consisting of lymph and emulsified fats.
Okay.
Fat droplets which drains from the lacteals of small intestine into the lymphatic system. Okay, nectar. So, the body is made up of such wonderful things. So, namely chile, blood, flesh, fat, bone, marrow, and semen come into existence. At the end of 5 months, hunger and thirst make themselves felt. And at the end of 6 months, the fetus, enclosed by the amnion. What is the amnion? So technical. A membrane that closely covers the human and various other embryos when first formed. It fills with amniotic fluid, which causes the amnion to expand and become the amniotic sac that provides a protective environment for the developing embryo. The amnion, along with the chorion, the yolk sac, and the allantois, protect the embryo. Okay. We're learning a lot today, everyone. Gaur Nitai's presence, the supreme teachers. Okay, 6 months, the fetus enclosed by the amnion begins to move on the right side of the abdomen. Purport. When the body of the child is completely formed at the end of 6 months, the child, if he is male, begins to move on the right side. And if female, she tries to move on the left side. Now, I'm going to have to check this out because we do so many simultaneums. Sometimes people don't know. I just need to ask, at 6 months, where has the child shifted within your abdomen? To the left is lady. To the right is man, correct?
No. It's the other way around.
No, it says if he's male, begins to move on the right side. And
you said it the other way around.
Okay. I could have swore I said if it's left, it's a lady, LL, and if it's right, it's a man.
Oh, I sit corrected.
You do sit, and you have been corrected. But I accept that I could have made that mistake, because it happens all the time. Bhagavad Gita says every endeavor is covered by some fault. We're always making mistakes. So that's an interesting one. I shall experiment with this from now on.
The way that we were, like my mom and that generation, the way they just knew if someone was having, maybe you also heard this, if someone's having a girl or boys, if the lady's having a girl, they just put on weight everywhere, the face, they get really big. But if they're having a boy, it's just the tummy gets big and they themselves don't, you can see they're not excessively putting on weight. And they would determine, yeah, girl, yeah, boy. And those old, Indian aunties, they know everything. So.
They say in the West, old wives' tales. But I've seen for sure that doesn't work always.
Oh, really?
Yeah. An example, I won't say any names, but
yeah.
some ladies look like they aren't even pregnant.
Oh God, yeah.
I mean,
oh my
hello,
Lord. Oh,
are you going to
God.
have a baby or not? It's like
I know.
some ladies just remain so skinny, and they have girls, so
okay.
They don't all have boys.
That's the minority, but yeah.
Okay. Anyway,
all right.
Interesting point. So I think we'll finish here if you're
yes.
okay with that. We actually read for the whole 20 minutes, which is what happens. You start with just a minute or two, and
you start talking.
And
it's just.
Oh God.
That's what happens.
Well, we thank you all very much for tuning in. I thank my wife for her tolerance, and I thank Srila Prabhupada for his diligence in translating the Srimad Bhagavatam for all of us. So.
And we thank our special guests.
Jai Shri Shri Gaur Nitai Ki Jai.
They're ours, by the way, in case you didn't know.
Well, we're theirs, by the way, in case you didn't know. They don't belong. God doesn't belong to us. We belong to God.
They belong to me, though. I saw them in 97, 96. And I said to my friend, I want them. She was horrified.
And in the end, they came,
They
right?
did.
So my wife, being born on the 14th of December, same day as Radhalan and Ishwar were installed, date-wise, not TT-wise.
Not year-wise. No,
not
don't
year.
get into it. Not year-wise, because they are older than me, even though they don't look it. But we share the same appearance, 14th
Date,
December.
solar date.
No. We all live in the material world. You live on the moon, so 14th December is when Srila Prabhupada said Swaha and poured all the.
14th December 1969. My wife was born 14th December 1964.
That was not. How are they gonna believe that?
54. Okay. Anyway, you can figure it out.
Yeah, tread carefully if you do. Especially you, Ronnie.
Anyway, the point in that joke was that she likes to steal deities. So, wherever we go and we see beautiful deities, she always says, I want those deities. I'm going to take them home with me, put them in my bag. So, like that. So, if she did that every time we saw beautiful deities, we wouldn't be able to sit in the front room because it'd be like so many deities here. Okay, thank you all very much. See, just rambling on.
Yeah, you
Hare
do that.
Krishna, Grantaraj, Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai. Hare Krishna.